Hey, so this video is mostly just going to be me having some conversation with friends, whatnot. This isn't going to be a podcast of any sort, so make of that what you would. So if you guys end up liking it, I'll make some more. It's mostly just an experiment to see if I can expand the amount of content that I'm making, anyways. So like it if you like it. Other than that, it's your choice to be offended. Bruh, so I've been like talking to this guy I've been off of Reddit, right? And he was like, oh, you know what? Let's work together on some videos. I didn't realize this guy was a total nutter fuckboy.
Wow, what was wrong with him?
It's just like a lot of things. Fucking the way he speaks, right? He's like, oh, you'll be so glad that you're working with me because I'll be famous one day. I'm like, bro, you got like 40 subscribers. There's like nothing.
What's his channel?
It was like, oh fuck, I have to look that up.
I'm kind of curious.
I have to look it up, look it up, look it up. Because he hasn't actually shown me his channel. I've just like looked it up because you can do that on Reddit more or less. Dinkenheimer 00.
Retard here. No, since I hate myself so badly.
Look at it. Yeah, so here's his channel. That's what he does. Totally fucking right. I mean, he's not a bad kid. It's just.
Is that a Martin Luther King quote or something like that?
Huh?
Looks like a twat.
Yeah, he kind of is.
Do you know him?
No,
Like,
I was on a subreddit and I'm like, I was on a subreddit. I think it was like YouTubers or something, and I was posting in there like, hey, could somebody like review my videos and give me like some fucking feedback on them? You know, are they good? Are they bad? Is the editing okay? Whatever. So he fucking slides in my DMs. He's like, yo, your editing's pretty good. You want to work with me? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Let's fucking, why not? And then fucking figure out who this kid is. Oh my god.
Dude, this guy's the biggest dickhead I've ever seen.
Yeah, I honestly don't get the whole the way he does his videos. I don't understand.
He's like really tryharding.
I know, and that's the thing, is it doesn't seem natural, right?
Yeah, it's like like one of those salesmen. Like as you're leaving the store, they just fucking chase you all the way to your home.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, my content's nothing to write home about, but
no, yours is like way better just because you don't act like that.
yeah, there's no acting. It's all just me laughing.
It's too like, what's the word? Over the OTT.
Over the top.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's too forced. Forced.
Yeah, I mean, like, you only have 50 views, dude.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is like, I personally understand like where my fucking channel's at right now. My most viewed video was a fucking mod review for Minecraft, right? And it's got 3,000 views, if that. Right? I'm not.
Pretty decent.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I've made videos in the past that have gotten higher view amounts, like 14K and stuff like that on like previous channels that I did with my friend. But like, I'm not trying too hard. The videos that I do try to do shit with are like the Revolt one and the Ultimate Admirals one. But I just, I don't know. I need to get better at that kind of shit. There's also my fucking microphone, and it makes me sound a little weird. Cause the YouTube videos, I don't know what's going on, but my voice sounds nothing like that. I mean, my voice isn't perfect, but it doesn't sound so.
I think, don't you have to like
Without
use like special recording software or something? I know some YouTubers do.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Like my
Audacity?
voice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I have Audacity, and I've been trying to figure it out because like my voice doesn't have any fucking force on the mod reviews when I'm recording through Audacity, but but when I'm live streaming and I've got my CS:GO videos, for example, that sounds way more like my voice. I don't know if it's like something with like OBS or if Audacity's fucking something up. I don't know, but it's kind of. I think it might be like because I do noise reduction on Audacity. Because I have like a hissing background noise. And that might just.
Because you're a fan.
My what?
Is it because you're a fan on your computer?
No, it's not. I mean, my microphone is sensitive enough to pick up the fan, but it's way too high pitched, I think. I mean, it could be my fan. I don't know. But my computer's kind of like. So I've got my desk. My desk is a very heavy wooden fucking desk. So I've got my microphone over in front of me with my monitor and shit. I would. Right, you move my camera. Microphone's like right there. And then my fucking computer is like on the other side of the desk behind the fucking legs. And the legs are like pretty fucking solid pieces of wood. So I don't know how the sound is going there, but off of Amazon I ordered a new microphone, which isn't going to be is a different type of microphone, though it's like a third of the price of the one that I paid for on the one like here. And I also bought some like soundproof board, like that foam shit you can put up. It's maybe be better, I don't know. And then I've thought about buying a better mixer. But
what's a mixer? Is
huh?
Like, what's a mixer? Is that like better stereo?
You'll see it on stream. This is a mixer, more or less. So like microphone input goes into here, and then I can adjust the volume and the gain and the amplitudes, and I can add effects, so my voice is nice and echoey.
Can you do like the Darth Vader?
No, it's not that powerful.
Yeah, are you like one of those like people who come in like game lobbies and have like recorded movie quotes on your keyboard?
No, no, I don't have that set up. I would really love to.
I used to play like Call of Duty on Xbox, and somehow some kid rigged it to their computer or something, and all I heard was like fucking Scarface quotes with the grenade launcher.
Yeah. I mean, I could set it up.
How do you do it? Do you have to like buy like a special like keyboard or something and bind it to? I don't know.
So there's a number of ways to do it. You can either literally the method that I could do it with is you take some you get some cables and you literally plug it into hang on. Okay. And then you plug it into your mixer, and then you literally just have your phone and fucking play sounds off of it. So if I make sure that is turned off so I don't destroy your fucking ears, I could literally just send music from my phone into the mixer through basically a headphone jack. So if I select my channel and play something, I can...
Why'd you throw away the aux I gave you, Alexander?
Right?
Shooting.
I could do that. The other way to do it is to have a dedicated soundboard. And so the way that would work is you could do it a couple ways. You could have the soundboard directly put the sounds into the mixer itself. Or I think what you could also do is you could take all the sounds from the mixer, put it through the soundboard, and then to your computer. Or you could just buy a dedicated piece of hardware that'll do all of it for you. But the mixer that I wanted to get is like a $200 mixer. And it does all the voice effects like Darth Vader and fucking all that shit, but...
That's expensive.
It's yeah. I mean, you can buy them for $145 used, which isn't too bad. But that's my camera here. But yeah. But I'm hoping once I do my taxes and get my tax return, I might be able to do something, because I was thinking about getting a mixer and a new CPU, more RAM and a GPU, and all sorts of extra shit that I really do not need.
So, like, do you work for like a lawn maintenance company or something?
No, fuck.
Do you like own it?
Well, okay, so let me turn down my gain a little bit. But I in high school and right up until I went to college, I mowed lawns for people just as a self-employed type of thing. But what I do now is I sort books for a company that sells said books on Amazon, and it is the worst fucking job. It is goddamn awful.
What do you mean? Do you like buy books and sell them back on Amazon?
Well, so what this company does is, like thrift stores, Goodwill, that kind of shit. Well, what happens is this company buys those fucking books in bulk. They buy a lot of them. And what happens is essentially they have these big old boxes and they dump the books onto a fucking conveyor belt, right? Because, fuck being nice to books. And what ends up happening is we will sort those books. So we'll pick the books up off the conveyor belt, scan them with a barcode scanner, or type in their identification number on a keyboard. And their software will tell us whether or not they want to keep the book. If they keep the book, I gotta look at it, put its fucking condition in on the software so they know the book's got a stain or whatever.
So you work in like inventory control then?
More or less. I mean, it's more like a fucking pig pen, but...
You sound like really negative about it.
It's a terrible fucking job. I hate it. I mean, I'm glad I have the job.
Find another job then.
Oh, well, that's the problem, is when you're living in a college town, there's not a lot of jobs.
Right, you live in...
Utah.
Do you actually live in Utah, or do you Okay.
No, I actually live in Utah.
Isn't there like a suburb you could move to, something that has more jobs? I don't know how it works there. Everything is so much bigger with you guys. There's so much more range.
So the university that I'm going to is and the town that I'm living in is very isolated. Once you leave the city limits, you will drive about 30 to 45 minutes before coming across another town that's bigger than 1,000 people.
For fuck's sake!
Right?
That's serious.
We're in the middle of fucking nowhere. I mean, we're a lot closer to people than when I was in Price, Utah. Price only has about 6,000 people living there. And if you want to get to another major, well, I say major, another town that's substantial, you would be driving about an hour and a half, 2 hours. You know, going freeway speeds. Or motorway, whatever you fucking call them over there.
Like, in 2 to 3 hours, I could go from, like, from the very south coast to, like, the Scottish border. Just by using the train. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's-
Well, fucking...
I heard, like, public transport there is, like, really bad.
I mean, it's okay. It's not good if you want to go across the country. Excuse me. Well, I mean, America is so fucking big. I mean, most of the U.S. states are as big, if not bigger, than England. I think Utah is slightly bigger. I'm not sure.
I'm curious if, like, America's more landmass than the whole of Europe and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, if you overlay Texas over Europe, it takes up a significant portion. I mean, Texas is a very large state, but that's, one of 50. The whole...
There's only a 3,000... Okay, 3 million square kilometer difference between Europe, the whole of Europe and the whole of...
Yeah, I mean, it's a... Yeah, the U.S. is fucking huge. If I want to go back to Colorado, which is the state next door, it's about an 8.5 hour drive. Because it's just where I live. Yeah, I'm out in the sticks. So, no, yeah, I would love to move somewhere where there's more jobs, but I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah, I guess it's hard if you're using that to move around. And... Don't you have any family anywhere in different states?
My nearest family member is probably... I gotta do the math on this one. Probably about
you could, like,
300 to 400 miles away.
Maybe if they have, like, better work opportunities where they live, I'll still with them for a while until you...
I don't have any family out here in Utah. Like, I don't know if you heard me, but the nearest family member is at least a couple hundred miles away. Like...
I don't really have a notion of how far this is.
It's...
Is that a state away? Half a state away?
They're a state away.
That's pretty bad then.
Like, if I get... I guess you don't use miles. That's probably where you're getting a little confused.
Guess what are you trying to...
So that would be... Why is that... Yeah, that's about 1,000 kilometers away. Yeah, how do I show this to you without without leaking my location on stream? Hang on.
You just print screen it to me.
There you go. I'm streaming to the general chat.
Oh, so I don't do Discord. How do I...
I should be able to just click on my live button in the Discord.
I do it? Okay. I know you live now.
There you go. Yeah, so I live up here. Nearest family member to me, over there.
That's 55. Do you own a car?
Well, yeah, I've got a car.
Oh, you
Actually,
can just drive then. Fucking 9-hour drive, holy shit. Don't you have
no,
like a train or something that like
it's faster to drive than to take the train.
how does that work, mathematically speaking?
Well, fuck, look, the train has to go. Okay, if I were to take the train to... Okay, transit. I don't want to take the Greyhound, I want to take the fucking train. How do I... What is this? Well, the train has to make stops, right?
Yeah, but you have traffic jams and shit on the highway.
No, you don't. Not out here.
Yeah, you probably have like 3 times our lane size and shit.
No, the like when I'm saying traffic jams, there's literally like when I was driving out here from Colorado to where I live now, I remember for a period of time where I was there, I was the only car on the road for an hour. Didn't see a single other person. Like there's not traffic jams when you're traveling that far.
I wish I lived in a place as isolated as that.
It's like there's not people. I mean, sure, you'll see cars from time to time, but it's like it's not a very populated area out here. Sure, if I was living in California, it'd be a different story, but
Is that like a really crowded state then?
oh, California is terrible. It's to like if you want to drive, say, I don't know, 20 kilometers, that time would probably take like 30 to 45 minutes because you're in stop and go traffic. The population of California is like 30 million or something crazy like that. Especially around Los Angeles. Yeah,
That's like 50% of our population.
yeah, California is like, if it were its own country, I thought it would be like the 20th most prosperous I don't know.
Yeah, I've read that somewhere. Like, I'm actually gonna look that up.
Like there's just because look. I live here. Next nearest city is all the way down here. And that's a 30-minute drive. If I want to drive to Salt Lake, right? And Salt Lake is the capital of Utah. It's a fucking hour and a half drive, bruh.
Why are you looking? Oh, do you want to know where I live now?
No, I'm just trying to figure out Brighton, and then we go to
Newcastle is the very northern.
Newcastle
Upon Tyne.
UK.
I don't actually know what the. I think that's the wrong Newcastle. Yeah,
Yeah,
Newcastle upon Tyne. It's on the Scottish border.
Newcastle
Upon Tyne.
upon Tyne. Newcastle upon Tyne. Okay, so that's like 6 hours to drive the length of your country. So if I were to fucking drive How about fucking... Where's Moab again? No, St. George. Here we go.
What is St. George?
St. George is down here. Yep. Yeah, it's about... It's 20 minutes faster for you, but it...
That's actually quite mind-blowing.
Like, Utah's like the size of the UK. Like... And when you're talking about driving a distance, like, it's... So no,
Yeah.
I can't move in with a family member.
Okay, I'm beginning to understand now.
No,
That's actually quite, like, I didn't realize it was, like, that fucking expansive.
well, that's just Utah. Utah is like this area right here. If you want to fucking go like anywhere, my parents fucking drove from we drove from Orlando all the way up to Atlanta one time. That sucked ass. But the thing is like you think Utah is like kind of close to the Canadian border. It's not. 8 fucking hours. Like, I'm just like in the middle of nowhere, bro. At least I'm only 30 minutes from the Idaho border. Oh yeah, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty,
So I mean, it's
pretty mind-blowing.
it's huge.
I mean, I guess you're used to it.
Yeah, I mean, I have cruise control in my car, so AC heating. Couple good podcasts. Can fucking drive anywhere. I used to work for a steel fabrication plant, which took 30 minutes to drive there. So I'd have to get up at like 5 in the morning so I could show up to work on time for like 6:30.
Well, I guess, like, no, I think, like, cars are cheaper for you, isn't it? Because, like, you make your own and you don't have to, like, buy it from other countries, like...
Well, well, what's the cost for like a used car over there?
Why does it have to be a used car?
Or a new car? I don't know. Fuck.
Well, what kind of car? Like a cheap, shitty one, or like a decent one?
Look up 2004 Honda CRV. That's the car I have. I paid $2,500 for that thing, and it had 168 miles on the clock, which would be like what, 200k kilometers?
Okay, I'm trying to find the used Honda CRV. No, it's not bad. It's around £2,000. Is that an American?
Oh well, that's actually kind of similar.
That's around 2,600 US.
Oh well, that's basically what I paid for mine. After, registering it, getting the license plates and shit. That's the kind of thing that I'm doing. But gas is one thing or petrol would be much cheaper over here. Because what was it? Was it £8 for a fucking liter of gasoline? Or did I read that wrong?
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. It costs, I think, used to cost. It's not just how much you have to pay for the gas, but like in London, every time you like leave or enter the city limits, I think you have to pay like something like £150 just for the tax on the environment.
Bruh.
And I'm pretty sure that you guys don't have that in
No,
America.
we don't.
The only exception is if you're driving like a Tesla electric car, you don't get charged any tax for that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, I've heard they're like unreliable or something.
Bruh. So I would be paying over here about £2 for more or less like 4 liters of petrol. Yeah, that gasoline's fucking expensive over there, Jesus. And there's like no environment tax or anything out here. Although I did hear like I think it was Los Angeles was starting to do taxes. Not out here in Utah though.
Well, like 10 and 20 years, like there's going to be a worldwide ban on like diesel before we like make ourselves go extinct or something.
Oh fuck, I don't know how they're gonna ban diesel, cause that shit's really important if you wanna fucking buy food. I mean, jeez. Come to think of it, a lot of things are really cheap here in the US.
Well, you are the world's #1 economy for how many years now?
Well, England's not. England's got a decent economy.
We're like 10th now because of Brexit. You know, the funny thing was, like, when Brexit happened, nobody even really knew what it was. There was like a 1,000% increase on like the term itself, and the reason why everyone voted for it was just because they didn't want immigrants from Europe.
Yeah. And I can see that. But I don't know. Fuck, dude. But then again, I get paid like $10 an hour, so.
That's pretty decent.
Oh, that's like shit pay compared to where you can get what you can get elsewhere.
Yeah, but it's better than being unemployed, which I've been past year.
Well, your unemployed benefits over there in the UK are a lot better than what's over here.
Yeah, I've heard like you guys have to like pay for like medicine and shit, right?
Well, yeah, we have to pay for healthcare. That's why everyone's got
What
insurance.
happens if you're like, like really like poor, like super poor, where you can barely afford food and like you get really sick?
You still go to the hospital and you still get treated. You just have a huge debt.
Well, do they like? Is there like at one point do they just stop giving you like free treatment when your debt gets high enough?
I honestly have no idea.
So like if like a homeless hobo like crosses the street and gets like gets hit by a car, like will nobody treat him or something?
No, you still get treated. Somebody's gonna call the ambulance if they see the hobo, right? Get hit.
Yeah, that's just so.
I mean, they're still.
ridiculous
I'm
to
pretty sure they still get treated. They just have a fucking debt to pay now. I mean, healthcare here is fucking expensive as hell. as it is, I fucked up my knee a while ago, my left knee. Like, it was so bad that I was having a hard time standing just because I was in a lot of pain. If I went to see the doctors out here in Utah, it was like $300 just for a visit, which is expensive. But luckily, the university I go to has like a program for free healthcare or whatever, since I'm already paying for tuition. Cuts it down to just $25.
Well, what happened? Did you like get ACL or something?
I don't. It was my knee. I don't really know what happened. They think I pinched like some cartilage in there or something by like moving it wrong or whatever. Like it wasn't permanently damaged. It just was really fucking swollen and just hurt like hell. But hey, may have shit healthcare, but at least I can own a gun. I've actually been thinking about buying a gun just because why not? Just to flex on you Brits.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, if nobody owns a gun, then there's less gun crime. But we have like a massive problem with knives.
Well, no shit.
What's that?
Because you're not even really allowed to carry a knife unless you have a good reason for it, right?
No, yeah. If you like carry a knife with you, it's like 5 to 10 years in jail. If you're not like a chef. To put it in perspective, I can carry my bow around. I do like archery, so I can carry my bow, but I can't own a crossbow unless I have like a license for it because it's considered a firearm. Even though my bow,
and I can,
bow has enough.
And I can literally just order knives off Amazon. That is such a different dynamic.
I'm actually not joking when I say I went to the store to buy some like bread knives, and I got ID'd. Like those butter knives you use.
Really? Butter knives?
Yeah, I'm not even joking. It's ridiculous.
Fuck, dude. Man. Then I guess they would really be mad if I showed them my fucking bayonet. I actually bought a katana off Amazon.
Oh, can I see it on the stream?
No, it's back home in Colorado. You can't really take them on planes, and that was how I went back home last time.
Well, like when you're crossing like state to state, do you have to like declare shit?
No.
No. So like, what if like you can just carry weapons from state? I thought like certain states like banned like rifles and shit.
No, there's not a single state that has banned rifles. They have banned certain types of guns, but there's no border check. I mean, if you look up state border check, that's for like the fucking semi trucks, the big 18-wheelers. Because they weigh them to make sure they're not too heavy. If they're too heavy, they give them a fine, whatever. But there's no border checks. I mean, when I was moving from Colorado to Utah, I was pulled over once or twice. No, I was pulled over once because I had Colorado license plates, and Colorado is the weed state. So the cop was like, I bet he's got weed in there. Which I didn't. So then he's like, oh, well, I guess I'll just give you a warning for going too fast. I'm like, well, fuck you. But no, there's no border checks. None of that shit. You know, the only reason I don't have my big ass sword is because can't really take that on a plane.
No, I wish I could say it, dude. Like,
It's
I want to own a katana. Why do you own a bayonet? What the fuck would you use that for? Fucking, so if I burgle your home, you'd have the legal right to bayonet me. What if I'm unarmed?
Well, okay, so it depends. It depends on the state entirely. So
Okay, what if I fly over to Utah and I burgle your home at 3 a.m. in the morning?
if you break into my house and I could legitimately say I feel threatened, I could use just about any force I wanted to. I would be able
What
to.
if Go on.
I would be able to shoot you. Like,
That's like, okay, what if I'm unarmed? Isn't that like disproportionate force?
well, that's when it comes down to if there is without a doubt that you were armed and whatnot, then basically I'm perfectly fine. If you were, say, running away from me, or it's reasonable that I knew you were unarmed, I wouldn't be able to shoot you. I mean, I could still tackle you to the ground and threaten you, but I can't actually
Well, like,
kill you.
How do they know whether I'm like, you know?
Well, if
if
somebody's running away and you shoot them, they're going to be shot in the back, right?
Okay, fair.
It's going to be pretty clear they're running away.
Well, that trajectory.
I mean, I don't really know how it works. I just know that I would be pretty safe if I were to, like, wound you in some way. But, like, in states like no, not California. What state was it?
So you'd be allowed to murder someone if, like, they burgled your home and they had a shiv or something.
Well, if they had a
Good
knife,
time.
or even worse, a gun, yeah, I'm pretty sure I could. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
What if they had like a small butterfly knife, and you like whip out your guitar and like proceed to, I don't know, amputate his arm?
Well, I mean, he would still be armed in that case. I mean, I don't know. It's called castle doctrine. I don't know exactly what would happen, because that's, fucking American justice system is a little weird, but
I thought everything has to obey like Supreme Court precedents, right? That's how it works with you guys. You have, like, state courts.
it depends. So there are federal laws, and then there's state laws. Federal laws are like the ban on assault rifles, so machine guns and stuff like that. There's loopholes around there that you can still get them, but whatever. And then there's state laws. So an example of a state law would be the banning of butterfly knives. Not Colorado. California has banned butterfly knives, but not Utah. So I can buy and own a butterfly knife here in Utah, but not over in California. And that's kind of the same with defending your house, is it depends. Utah, you're pretty safe. California and like Washington, who knows? That was the whole controversy on weed, because technically on a federal level, weed is still illegal. It's still was it a felony to possess? I don't remember. So
did it? You have a better idea than I do.
So if I'm in Colorado and I have weed on me, first of all, I'm not old enough to have weed, but if I were, the state troopers, like the state police, can't do anything about it, but federal police could.
Okay, like, that's getting really confusing there.
Yeah, imagine each state as its own country. Imagine the European Union. The European Union is the United States, except with a lot more power and control. And then the states itself are like individual countries, like the European Union.
Okay, that works. Sort of.
I mean, it's hard to explain it when you yourself don't really know tons.
You just explain to me how, like, driving from like one end to another takes it.
Yeah. And it's kind of, and even individual cities can ban things and not ban things. It's a mess. That's kind of why there's I think that's partially why there's no border checks, because, you know, whatever. But hey, at least my driver's license is good in all 50 states.
That's nice.
It was even different states had different smoking laws before Trump signed it in. For example,
Well, how does that work? Nobody would follow it.
no, you kind of have. Well, people can't. Stores have to. Colorado was 18 and Utah was 19. Whereas some other states were 21. And now it's 21 across the board because Donald Trump. It was like that with alcohol till the government made it 21. States like Utah were 21 for alcohol, but states like Georgia were 18. So, you know. It gets a little confusing, but don't worry. You're not living in America yet.
I would like to visit one day. Who knows? Save it up money next year.
And America's, I mean, there's a lot of good places to visit in America.
I know it'd be easy for me to live in Canada, because live and work in Canada, because America has really strict immigration laws now.
Yeah, it is.
Canada they have a special expedited process for because there's old ties through.
Well, yeah, wasn't Canada
Yeah, so the Queen still technically owns Canada and Australia, because they left diplomatically and not through.
yeah, not through fucking guns and arms the American way. I've heard Canada can be pretty nice.
I just want to live somewhere that's really isolated, and I can just not see anyone for 10 hours.
Well, Canada's Canada's a pretty good option. I think Canada has 30 million people in there. And most of them are located right on the US border. There's a lot of space out there in Canada, so if you want to be in the middle of nowhere. Plus, weed's legal in Canada, I'm pretty sure. So, smoke that doobie. Oh shit, do I have an extra viewer on my stream? I doubt it, but... But yeah, that's... The US is very weird when it comes to laws.